Okay? How about solutions? What do you do with that?
Given a solution.
Yeah, you're giving a solution. Exactly. How to solve the problem. Right? What about a choice?
Choose and say one.
Good. Right? It's either 1 or 2, not 3. If it's 3, it would be your opinion. Okay?
And say you must write why you choose it.
Well, okay, whenever you say why you choose it, of course, yeah, you're supporting, your position. All of these are your position, right? So if they ask you what the advantages are, and you tell why it's the advantage, well, then you are supporting your position. Okay? All right. Okay, so those are the basic task types. Now, everybody knows that, wow, hello. Welcome. All right, so all of these, right, you have to do exactly. So if they ask you for a discussion of the topic, that's all you do, right? You don't give any kind of solutions, right? But if they ask you to discuss it and give solutions, you have to do both. And you have to develop it evenly, right? You have to develop one part equal amount as the other, or your score is going to kind of drop. Any questions about that? No questions?
Question.
Go on.
If we wrongly choose this kind of task types, this will be affect only 1 mark of this.
Yeah, if you look at your band descriptors, right,
Just
and you do the wrong task, it's going to affect your task response only.
Only.
Okay. But, however, it can affect some other scores too, right? It can affect your coherence and cohesion, which is the one next to it on your band descriptors, because it says there must be a clear progression throughout, right? So, for example, if you've been given an agreement or an opinion, right, and you go into it and you talk about your opinion and other people's opinion, right? So you're actually doing it half, right?
Yes.
Okay? And there wouldn't be a clear progression, because the progression should be your opinion the whole way through to the conclusion, right? But your progression was you talked about your side, then you talked about the other side. So basically you go, woo, right? You go off, and your progression isn't linear. So it would affect the next one, right? It might affect your language resource also. Okay? If you're completely off task, right? Because one thing with the language resource is they want you to have words that relate to the task, right? So for example, if we're talking about food, right? And somehow you get into drink, right? Well, okay, it's kind of loosely related, but it isn't exactly a food. Okay? It's not the best example, but that's kind of what I'm talking about, right? All right. Any more questions?
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Okay. If you have, for example, 1-6 and 3-7, which band you will have as a result?
One, it would depend on your task 1 very heavily, right? Like, okay, like let's say you get all 7s in your task 1, good, that'll be a 7 on your overall on your task 2. That 6 won't matter. But like let's say if you get maybe 6, right? All 6s on your task 1, then it might drop you down to a 6-5. Right. But like I said, like 60% is your task 2, 40% is your task 1. So it's kind of hard to tell you exactly, right? But they would feed it through the computer in Australia, they would figure it out there. Okay.
May I ask you a question to demonstrate the mathematical trick, how to calculate the mean, the importance between writing 1 and writing 2? May I?
No, this is irrelevant. No.
7 and 6 is equal, the same as 6 and 7.
No, that's not how it works here.
The overall correctness will be 6.5.
Okay, any more questions? All right, good, let's go into structure.
Curt,
Yes.
I'm afraid you don't understand me. I'd like only to mention that even we have 7 for rating 1 and 6 for rating 2, the mean is about 7.4. And if we have another 6 for rating 1 and 7 for rating 2, the mean will be about 6.5. After rounding,
Too much mathematics. I don't do that stuff. No, it goes into a computer in Australia, and they figure it out. All right, so structure. And this is all about your coherence and your cohesion. Okay? So, you know you have an introduction. You know you have 2 body paragraphs, at least. And you have a conclusion. All right. What should go in your introduction?
Paraphrase your task and give your button about your position.
Paraphrase the task. Okay, first thing that you do. And then you said,
Position.
good, give your position. And sometimes, just list the reasons why. Okay, do you explain those reasons why in your introduction?
No.
No, not at all. All right. Now, that of course is for a one-part task. If they just say, do you agree or disagree? Right? That's a one-part task. What happens if they say, well, discuss both views, or what are the advantages and disadvantages? What happens with your introduction?
You should mention that it has advantages and disadvantages.
What do you want to give?
Position. Your position.
Advantages, maybe why, and then?
2 positions.
Maybe your position that it has more advantages than disadvantages.
Well, that depends on the task, of course,
Yeah.
whatever it is. But if they just ask you for both sides of the issue, or advantages and disadvantages, well, here would be the advantages, there would be the disadvantages. So you want to mention it, of course, right, for your introduction. Cool? All right, there you go. That would be your introduction. Body 1, what's the structure?
Main idea.
Okay, the main idea, which goes into the topic sentence. The main idea goes there. Okay, so if it's a 2-part task, right? That would be your main idea, the first part of the task, right? Main idea would be the second part of the task, the second position. But if you only have a 1-part task, your reasons become your main idea. Okay? Then what else do you have?
Supporting ideas.
Supporting ideas. How many should you have?
At least 2.
At least 2. What's the most important thing with those supporting ideas?
Answering question. Why, where, when,
What, where, when, who, how, why, which are?
Details.
Details.
and examples.
Well, okay, the examples could be the details. Facts could be details. Your experience could be the details. Sure. Are we finished with our paragraph yet? No.
Conclusion of the paragraph.
Conclusion.
Good. You have a conclusive statement.
Oh my God. I never did.
Yes, I know, dear. All right. Now, what goes between those ideas? Oh, yeah, right, linking words. So you're going to link your ideas together so you're not separating supporting ideas from the main idea, right, which is, of course, in your topic sentence. And should you have some special linking words before your conclusive statement?
Yes.
Like what?
Hence,
Hence?
however,
No. However is for an opposite. But good try. Therefore?
So it's for speaking.
Yeah, so is not good for writing. Conclusively?
Can we say granted? Like granted?
Well, that would be for what you call a consolidation, right? So granted that this, right, this is the real position, real main idea. All right, one more, one of my favorites, thus. All right,
What about summarizing?
What about that's why?
we'll get to that. Now, oh, as a linking word? No.
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 That's why.
Yeah, that's kind of basic though. You know, I mean, you go through and, you know, you got this sporting idea, that sporting idea. That's why blah, 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 this. Okay. A little basic. Be better for speaking.
Like so.
Okay, so remember your conclusive statement, right? Very similar to your main idea because Western writing is all about the yin-yang, even though that's an Eastern symbol. All right? Is your body paragraph 2 the same structure as your body paragraph 1?
Yes.
Yes, it is. So we're just going to put TS, SI, details, SI, details, and stat, of course, with your linking words and all that. Okay, good. So, if it's a one-part task, reason 1, reason 2. If it's a 2-part task, the first part, the second part. Make it easy on yourself because you only have 40 minutes to do this whole thing. Don't make it too complicated for yourself. And how about the conclusion?
Paraphrase introduction of your position.
Okay, you could paraphrase the introduction. You could do that. Or you could say, well, this main idea plus this main idea comes into this summary.
summary.
Right? You know, this plus this logically equals this. Right? Which hopefully it's the same thing as your position in your introduction. That's why you can do it. Let me give you the quick and dirty method. Right? Because sometimes whenever you're in your examination and you're writing, you may only have like 2-3 minutes to do your conclusion. Right? You have to do it quickly. Okay? So here's how the quick and dirty goes. Right? For the reasons of blah and blah. 1 and 2. Same reasons, right?
For the reasons.
My position is, and then paraphrase your position. Right?
So the reasons of...
Yeah, for the reasons, thank you. Reasons of 1 and 2. My position is, paraphrase your position, about, and then paraphrase the task again. So basically, it's your introduction backwards, and you're doing a lot of paraphrasing. But it's a very quick plan to get a conclusion there whenever you're running out of time. Okay. Now, of course, all of this would be in 250 words. Should you worry about your words?
No.
Why
Too
not?
much.
How do you not worry about your words?
Write 6 complex sentences in each body.
6, what type of sentences?
Complex sentences.
Complex sentences, good. With?
With full details
Mm-hmm.
and supporting ideas.
And cover the whole topic.
Yeah, I mean, if you cover the whole topic, right, and you develop your topic enough with details, okay, you should have 250 words. As a matter of fact, whenever you're doing it, you should think about your adjectives and adverbs also. It makes it more colorful, and makes it more clear what you're talking about, right? So, for example, here you say, well, of course, one time I saw a dog run to the park to get a bone because it was hungry. All right? All right, okay, so you're giving some details, right? Dog, what? Ran to the park, right? Where? To get a bone, what? But would it sound better if you would actually add some more adjectives and adverbs to that? So the very hairy, smelly, ugly dog, right, ran to the beautiful open-air park to get a bone with some delicious meat on it. Does that sound more colorful? Right? And that, you don't have to worry about your words because you're adding more words and demonstrating your English power. Exactly. Okay. Yes.
Writing an introduction, something like this. In this essay, I will write about.
I can't recommend that because they know what you should be writing about. Okay. So yeah, your introduction. Oh yes, today I would like to write to you about the topic that you gave me. It doesn't quite work out very well. Same thing as like the I would like to say that.
Yeah.
We looked at that and they're like, no, they're just adding words there that really aren't relevant or aren't needed because do you really want to say it?
No, explain me.
Oh.
Well, can I say the... Okay. All right, any more questions?